Okay, so I'm going to be talking about a couple of different things today. They are related, but very opposite. The first that we're going to get into, I guess I'm going to start with the negative first so we can end on a happy note. We can end on some good feels. So on Facebook, my leftist spaces, communist groups, groups that used to be like socialist groups but have been rebranded as Marxist-Leninist groups, and this is something that I've touched on before. These leftist spaces on Facebook, or particularly the ones I'm in on Facebook, are becoming increasingly hostile to anarchism, increasingly hostile to criticism, and it's worrisome, my dudes, because as I mentioned before, well, first of all, not only are you alienating anarchists who, I hate to break it to you, but if you want to succeed in your revolutionary goals, if fuck even succeeding in a revolution, if you want to survive the upcoming wave of fascism we are about to see, you need us. We need each other. We will not make it alone. We won't. So, I'm going to pull up some messages and statuses here in a bit. I am, of course, going to edit everyone's usernames or real names for privacy concerns and things like that. Normal, I list the names of the groups that these things are occurring in. But the real issue here is that if you can't get along with us, who are you fighting for? Do you only want good, happy, communist nation for people who are already hardcore Marxists? Because I'm sorry, but the majority of the working class aren't hardcore Marxists. And even a majority of the working class who are leftists are not Marxist-Leninists. They're just not. It's statistically not true. So who are you fighting this revolution for? You can say that you want to help these people, and then 2 sentences later you are calling them enemies, you're calling them counter-revolutionary, you're saying that they're mindless and they're sheep, and like, if you hate the majority of working class people and their values so much, why do you give a fuck about liberating them? You claim that anarchists are rugged individualists and that we care about the individual over everything, but it seems to me like you're just LARPing your own desires for authority, your own desires for an easier life. You want communism because you want your life to be better. And that's valid. I want my life to be better too. But that's not why I'm an anarchist. Because I'm white, I'm attractive, I could probably make my life better under a capitalist system. I could probably succeed fairly well, even with my mental illness. If I had, if I took advantage of several resources and connections that I've been privileged with and presented with in my life. I'm not an anarchist for myself and my betterment. I'm an anarchist. I'm a communist. Because that is how I see the most good being done for the most people. So what the fuck are you fighting for? To control us? I'm sorry, I know that that's like a meme now, but really, like, I have seen anarchists in these threads, and I'll show you, trying to have meaningful discourse and meaningful discussions in, good faith about concessions that we can make. How, yeah, we understand you can't just abolish the state. We're fine with having some socialism, having some authoritarian communism, and then eventually trying to abolish the state. I've accepted it's not going to happen in my lifetime. But y'all don't want to give any. Y'all don't want to make concessions. It's your way, or we're the enemy. Shit ain't right. Well, I understand that a lot of these people are just quoting leaders or prominent figures in socialist and communist movements of the past. I think it is important not to let the same sort of lines of thinking and sectarianism continue to harm our movements and divide us. And I honestly couldn't, with all the violent ones. I got so tired of scrolling through these that I just gave up. So I am asking this earnestly. What can we do? What would you have us do? And when I say us, I'm referring to anarchists. I am referring to Marxists who maybe hold different opinions on authoritarianism than you do. I'm talking about democratic socialists and social democrats and the majority of the working class who are liberal or reactionary at best. So, what do you want? Do you want us to just leave you alone and let you try to build your state all on your own? We could do that. it's not going to go well. Particularly not in America. I don't know what sort of delusions of grandeur you have about yourself or your movement or your organization, but if you have, let's be generous. If you have support from less than 25% of the working class, or not just the working class, but of the American population in general, your revolution will not succeed. You will die. You will all die. I know that I probably sound like a bitch right now. I probably sound arrogant, and if any Tankies watch this, I'm probably gonna get shit on. I don't care, because it needs to be said. A lot of my anarchist friends, and I try to engage in good faith too a lot of the times, and I will often let people go on for longer than they should, let them speak their mind longer than they should, and attempt to be empathetic. And yeah, I struggle with sometimes being too forgiving. It is one of my flaws, but I personally prefer to err on the side of giving everyone a chance and assuming that they're coming from a good place. Of course, some people are just hateful, and I'm trying to better learn how people with bad intentions try to hide them and make you think that you're engaging in meaningful discourse when you aren't. Because that is definitely a thing that happens. But I'd just rather not live my life with hostility towards others unless they've done something to warrant it. It's your life, though. You make your own choices. I'm just saying, be a lot cooler if y'all chilled the fuck out and showed some solidarity. So, I'm not really sure what to do about the infighting and issues that we seem to be having between Marxist-Leninists and really any other form of leftist. But y'all either have to start making some compromises, or you have to start so I'm not really sure what to do, but I will say that we gotta start making compromises. We gotta start having meaningful discussions without name calling, and we have to figure out how we're going to organize with one another and support one another through what is coming. Because I know I'm not the only one who feels it. Something is definitely coming. And we're gonna need each other. And that actually leads me to the good news, the good things that I wanted to talk about. And that is hashtag no comrade under 1K. has been trending on Twitter. It is beautiful. There are, of course, some people who are misusing it, some people making fake accounts, yada, yada, yada. But overall, it is a coming together of a lot of different people at a lot of different places in their political journey and ideology, who are having meaningful, supportive discussions about how we're going to do this together, how we're going to make this work. And yeah, there are some Marxist-Leninists and Tankies in there, and they've actually been pretty cool. There have been a few who are a bit class reductionist. There have been a few who, once again, are hostile and are calling anarchist liberals and are implying that it's not worth the time to try and radicalize liberals. And to that point, I would say there are some liberals that you will be wasting your time with. That is true. You, as a leftist, who wants revolution, who wants to change this system that everyone is so comfortable in, it is your responsibility to figure out which ones can be radicalized, figure out which ones cannot be radicalized and are just a waste of air. And when I say air, and I mean like they're a waste of life, I don't think that they deserve to die. I mean, it's a waste of your breath. That's a better term. But it's your responsibility to figure out who can be radicalized and who cannot, and then to attempt to do it. I know. A lot of us are mentally ill. A lot of us are busy. A lot of us have a lot of shit going on, and it can be so frustrating. It can be so taxing to have the conversation with, half the liberals you come across. Let's just say half the liberals you come across can be radicalized. But you gotta do it. Because they're there in front of you. And if you don't do it, you can't expect anybody else to do it. And when I say radicalize them, I'm not saying demean them, dunk on them, make fun of them, laugh at them and their ideologies. I mean, I do that too sometimes when I realize that it's someone who can't be radicalized. But if you see someone who is commenting in good faith and they think, in their heart that liberal ideas, that neoliberalism is the best way to fight for human rights, to fight for the working class, then it's your responsibility to show them why that's not true. And you should do that respectfully. Otherwise, you're going to alienate them. And we don't want to alienate the liberals. Because they do outnumber us. We need them. Some of them, anyway. But yeah, no comrades under 1K is trending, and there are a lot of Demsos. There are a lot of democratic socialists, a lot of social democrats, anarchists, socialists, Marxists. It's been beautiful. It really, really has. And I encourage everyone to keep it up. I've seen some people starting to trend for no comrades under 2K or under 5K, which is a good goal as well. We do still have a lot of smaller accounts that haven't reached 1K yet, but we'll get there with time and solidarity. I doubt that anyone with any kind of platform will watch this, but If you are a leftist with a platform, a podcast, a YouTube channel, anything like that, you also have a responsibility to help this movement out. I've honestly not seen a lot of the biggest leftist content creators helping boost accounts or following accounts, and I understand that you may be wary of parasocial relationships and people abusing the fact that you follow them and things like that. But at the end of the day, you're the people with a voice, and you are the face of our movement, and it would be really heckin' nice to see some solidarity and support. I'm not gonna call anybody out or anything, because I love y'all, I watch your content, I support your content, but if you have seen the No Comrades Under 1K hashtag on your thread, which if you're in leftist spaces on Twitter at this time, it's kind of hard not to. It'd be nice to see you using your platform to build some solidarity. Please, just a crumb of solidarity for me. I know you don't know me. But I guess this video is going to be kind of short. I have been very not mentally well lately. I'm going to try to keep up with content, but no, I'm not going to make any excuses. I'm going to keep up with the content as best as I can. I was planning on releasing videos weekly. At this point, it may take me a week and a half to 2 weeks to get a video out, but I promise there will be fairly regular content in the future. If you guys have anything that you want to talk about, if you would like your input or discussions or work included in any of my videos, just reach out to me and let me know. My Twitter handle is @SaltyValkyrie with 3 Y's. Obviously just the same as this, but it's all one word. So feel free to hit me up on Twitter. Feel free to comment on this video. And if it seems like we could have some interesting discussions and make a good video, I'll hit you back. That's it. That's all I got this time. Be safe out there, bitches, and support your comrades, please.